my life in Washington, D.C.
Hello, DCfred show. My name is Philipos Melaka-Bello. I am at the William Thomas Memorial Anti-Nuclear Peace Vigil today, and in the 53 day of the Kremlin Annex protest, you have a special guest, Kathy Griffin.
She is a two-time Emmy Award winner, a Grammy winner, comedian, and actress. She broke history just recently, performing 2 shows back-to-back at Radio City Music Hall and Carnegie Hall, not to mention selling it out. Make some noise for that, please. She is currently on the Laugh Your Head Off tour, set to take stage here in Washington, D.C. on Saturday, the 8th. At DAR Constitution Hall. She's definitely the funniest guest we've had here at the Kremlin Annex. And Stormy Daniels' new best friend. Also, not to mention, she's the Guinness World Record holder for the female with the most comedy specials. Can't forget about that. Please make some noise for Kathy Griffin. Kathy, 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 Kathy. Kathy, 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 Kathy.
Thanks, you guys. Oh my goodness. What a difference a year makes. Wait, is this on? Yeah. It is on? Okay, good. All right, I have written remarks first, and then I have very vile roast jokes. This guy wants me to apologize to Barron Trump. I think Barron has seen worse than my photo. All right, keep going. So I'm someone who has lived through an experience that is in fact historic in a bad way, which is on May 30th, 2017, the President of the United States, the First Family, and the Department of Justice tried to actually decimate me. So I have not been decimated. I'm back on tour. I have a show at Constitution Hall, and I am not holding back on him or anybody in that building one bit, and neither should you. So I'm so honored to be here the 53rd night in a row. You're persisting, you're not going anywhere, and it's fantastic. All right, so first of all, I love this guy. You know what, sir? I don't go to your job and knock the dicks out of your mouth. All right. Good evening, fellow resistors. Thank you for coming. Hey, Donald. I'm a little flippant for him. Oh, that's right. He's not here because he's a spineless prick. He is in Billings, Montana, running from us, running scared, because I'm going to roast him on a spit slowly on a slow fire. That's not a threat. That is not a threat. It is a joke. It's covered by the First Amendment. All right, before we start roasting Trump, I just want to start out by acknowledging something that I think is important. The stuff that we've been learning about, especially this week with the hearings, etc., their corruption, their ties to Russia, real ties to Russia, many indictments. Well, one woman in this country actually warned us about it, Hillary Clinton. So we're seeing all the things that we've been warned about actually come true. So she was right, the other people were right, Harry Reid tried to warn us, etc. The past year and a half, many of us who tried to do the same thing have been told, you guys I'm sure have been told that you're conspiracy theorists or just bitter anti-Trump Democrats. Well, we were right. Indictments left and right, and they're all singing like canaries. Especially Alan Weisselberg. That one's going to be juicy. He knows everything. Sorry, here's my favorite song. Fuck Donald Trump. All right. It was kind of great when Robert De Niro did that at the Tonys. I just want to say that was sort of funny. I've actually performed in Iraq and Afghanistan, 2 places you couldn't find on a map, asshole. Whoa. So who is frankly showing bullshit fake courage. So I'm not going to waste my time on Kellyanne Conway. Now, I want to talk about what's happening in the Senate right now, because a really terrible man, Brett Kavanaugh, is probably going to get confirmed. So he's a disaster. He's a moron. He's not very smart. He's against America v. Nixon, etc. I wasn't on the Celebrity Apprentice, but okay. Anyway, you know what pisses me off though? The spineless Republicans like the Jeff Flakes who talk shit about Trump and then don't do anything when they have the chance. So I'm just here to say, those of you that are counting on Murkowski to do the right thing or Susan Collins, they're not. Sorry, they're fakes. All right, so Kavanaugh just did like Trump. Did you see him with the amazing Kamala Harris? She really put his feet to the fire, so we need to follow that. What do you call Donald Trump's anus? A shithole country. Oh! What do you call Donald Trump's butthole? Kellyanne Conway's safe place. Oh! What do you call Donald Trump's butthole? DC's hottest new retirement village. Rudy Giuliani's up there, Bannon's up there. By the way, how much meth is Steve Bannon doing? How much meth can one guy do? Allegedly. Wilbur Ross lost his pacemaker up there. All right. Remember that the whole release, that the memo bullshit from the Republicans, well, the Nunes memo turned out to be such a disappointment that Donald Trump named it Don Jr. That is credited to @T-Pain, a fellow resistor on Twitter, if you know his work. All right, and then another very funny comedian wrote, John Max wrote this, when he said he liked to grab a pussy, I thought he was talking about Jared. All right, and then another good resistor on Twitter, @OhNoSheTwitn't, wrote, as if Trump didn't hate Cory Booker enough already for being a liberal black man and having the word book in his name. That is not Trump's type. All right, this is just a really corny one, because I actually looked up corny jokes to give him a taste of his own medicine. Some babies were dropped on their heads, but you, Donald, were clearly thrown at a wall. By the way, that wall is not going to be built. There's not going to be a wall, so he needs to stop talking about a wall. If he does, I'm going to stand on top of it and just throw Mexican people back in. Just go through one after another. Selena Gomez, whoever's up. All right. This is another very funny comedy writer, John Max. He's so fat, when he heard we were having a roast, he asked if he could eat it. Okay, you ready? This is from my good friend Jim Wise. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Veto.
Veto who?
We don't need no education. Which is really great because Betsy DeVos is inept. Double burn. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Orange.
Orange who?
Orange, you glad Trump will soon be wearing an orange jumpsuit? All right, here's a corny old-timey one. We can always tell when you are lying. Your lips move. Like the time the top tray fell out at the press conference. You guys remember that one conference he had in front of the gold curtain? And my dad had dentures, so I know that he has dentures. And remember the top tray fell out? And by the end of the speech, he was rambling and he just went, God bless America. So he said, oh, he has a dry mouth. All right, this is by my friend John Max. Trump is dumb. Last night he was watching Jeopardy. The category was vegetables and the answer was chickpea. He yells out, what's my favorite thing to watch? Come on, the tape is real. The tape is real. TikTok. All right, because he had already aged out Ivana, like Menudo. So he was with the showgirl. Her name was Marla. She is a showgirl. And his first words to me were, oh, I wish you were here to reclaim our time. And he comes up to me, and I said, hi, my name is Kathy Griffin. I play Vicky on the show. Welcome to the set. And he goes, call me the Donald. And I go, okay, call me the Kathy. So I am not defending Hollywood. I'm just saying, honestly, no one took him seriously. Like when he was doing The Apprentice, nobody thought he would actually like cheat and win and conspire with the Russians and win a presidency. Or as he says, the precedent. Because he did that tweet saying, I'm proud to be your president. Also, how are we feeling about Melanie? I don't feel good about Melanie. I'm not a fan. I think those that think Melanie and Feckless are going to rise to the top and be the grown-ups in the room, I do not think that's going to happen. I don't like Melanie going to the border with the I really don't care, do you jacket, because we really do care. And, oh, you want to hear about the hair? Because I kind of studied the hair. The bad news is it is actually the hair that grows out of his head. I know. I wanted it to be a RuPaul wig as well, but it's actually his hair. which means when he gets out of the shower, it's very like long and fine, like the dear departed Greg Allman, may he rest in peace. And as long as I've known him, for a supposed billionaire, he can't even get the Grecian formula right. So it's been like what I call tricolor, like a parfait cup, and it's like a stripe of gray, then yellow, then the full orange for the roof. And I have a theory, which is I think he makes Melanie do his hair because it's shrouded in shame. And I think the top part, if there are any architecture buffs, is kind of like a Frank Lloyd Wright cantilevered effect. Because on The Apprentice, you would just see him in a controlled environment. And I've studied it up close. And yes, there are pictures of me with him online. I did know him. And I remember one time I put my finger right in the nest part of his hair. You guys, it was like the wall. Maybe that's what inspired him. But I think he uses a lot of illegal Aquanet from Mexico because that's where the good stuff is. And on the side, he uses a very thick gel like Fonzie. And if you notice, when he poses with world leaders, like Kim Jong-un, where you're not even supposed to smile in the photo, he always does like an "ay." And also, we have to deal with the fact that in the back, we now have a president with a full mullet. We have to accept it. We have President Billy Ray Cyrus from the 80s. And what I sort of enjoy is, I don't know if you guys heard, but he has a phobia of stairs. Remember the picture of him holding hands with Theresa May? So Theresa May goes back to England and she's got to answer, like, why are you holding hands with this psycho? And I love it. She calls him out and she goes, right before we went down the stairs together, he said, will you hold my hand? I'm afraid of stairs. Oh, it's my new obsession to watch him go downstairs because he's nervous as hell and his cantilevered nest catches some wind sometimes, like in a hurricane, and then it lands and then he always salutes the wrong person. So do what you can, keep resisting. Are any of the other ladies here? Oh, we're gonna go to music. But I'm just proud of you guys, 53 nights in a row.
Let's go, boys.